VRT Technical Analysis for July 11, 2025 General Overview and Trend. The VRT stock, as observed in the provided dataset from April 14, 2025 to July 10, 2025, displays a volatile, but generally upward trend. Starting at a closing price of $71.57 on April 14, the stock experiences significant fluctuations, dipping to a low of $65.93 on April 21 before surging to a high of $129.31 on June 30. Despite a sharp drop to $120.72 on July 10, the overall trend shows a strong bullish phase from late April through June, followed by a potential consolidation or correction in early July. The recent price action, particularly the 6.02% decline on July 10 with elevated volume, 24,685,984 shares, suggests profit-taking or a reaction to a specific event, yet the broader uptrend remains intact. Price and volume analysis. VRT's price ranges from a low of $65.93 on April 21 to a high of $129.31 on June 30, closing at $120.72 on July 10. Volume spikes are notable, with peaks at 24,253,723 shares on April 23 and 24,685,984 shares on July 10, aligning with significant price movements. The July 10 volume, significantly higher than the average, indicates strong selling pressure or institutional activity. The volume-weighted average price, VWAP, on July 10 at $116.1994 is below the closing price, suggesting buyers stepped in at lower levels, potentially stabilizing the price. The on-balance volume, OBV, at 91,328,242 reflects accumulation over the period, though the sharp drop on July 10 reduced OBV, indicating some distribution. Moving averages, EMA and SMA. The dataset includes simple moving averages, SMA, and exponential moving averages, EMA, for periods of 5, 10, 20, 21, 25, 30, 50, 63, 75, 100, 125, 150, and 200 days. On July 10, the SMA5 is $125.816, and EMA5 is $124.6548, both above the closing price of $120.72, reflecting short-term bearish pressure. Longer-term averages, such as SMA20 at $121.128 and EMA20 at $121.0384, are closer to the closing price, suggesting potential support. The weighted moving average, WMA10, at $121.3422 and triple exponential moving average, TMA10, at $127.0976 indicate that the recent drop may be a short-term correction within a broader uptrend, as these values remain above the price. Technical indicators. Momentum indicators. The Relative Strength Index, RSI 14, on July 10 is $53.34, down from a high of $76.39 on June 6, indicating a neutral momentum state after approaching overbought levels. The Stochastic Oscillator, Stock K5 at $54.73, Stock D5 at $60.25, and Stochastic RSI, Stock RSI K5 at $0, suggest the stock is oversold in the short term, potentially signaling a bounce. The Momentum 10 indicator at -92 reflects the recent downward move, contrasting with earlier positive values like $17.44 on June 30. Volatility indicators. The Bollinger Bands, BB upper at $131.9868, BB middle at $121.128, BB lower at $110.2692, show the price dropping to the lower band on July 10, indicating increased volatility and a potential reversal point. The average true range, ATR 14, at $5.7991 suggests significant daily price swings, consistent with the 6.02% drop on July 10. Trend indicators. The moving average convergence divergence, MACD, at $4.9947, with a signal line at $5.7540 and histogram at $0.7592, indicates weakening bullish momentum, as the MACD line has crossed below the signal line. The average directional index, ADX 14, at $31.06 suggests a moderate trend, down from a high of $40.06 on June 6, indicating the trend may be losing strength. The Arun oscillator, 14, at -$14.29, with Arun up at $92 and Arun down at $24, shows a shift from a strong uptrend, Arun up at $100 earlier, to a potential consolidation phase. Volume indicators. The Chaikin oscillator at -$1,160,611 on July 10 reflects negative money flow, aligning with the price drop and high volume. The OBV drop from 116,014,226 on July 9 to 91,328,242 on July 10 confirms selling pressure, though the overall OBV trend remains positive due to earlier accumulation. Other indicators. The Commodity Channel Index, CCI 20, at -$15.30 on July 10 indicates the stock is oversold, supporting the potential for a rebound. The Ultimate Oscillator at $49.10 suggests neutral momentum, with no extreme overbought or oversold conditions. Linear regression. The trend strength forecast, TSF 14, on July 10 is $127.6539, above the closing price of $120.72, suggesting the price is below the linear regression trend line, potentially indicating undervaluation in the short term. The TSF has risen from $97.3832 on May 5 to $129.3480 on July 9, reflecting the strong upward trend before the recent pullback. The linear regression slope supports a continued bullish trajectory, though the July 10 drop suggests a temporary deviation. Opening price prediction for the next trading day given the TSF 14 at $127.6539, the oversold stock K5, $54.73, and CCI, -$15.30, and the high volume on July 10. The opening price for July 11, 2025, is likely to rebound slightly from the close of $120.72. The neutral RSI, $53.34, and proximity to the BB lower, $110.2692, suggest limited downside risk. The opening price is estimated between $121 and $123, with a likely value around $122, assuming no major overnight news. Support and resistance analysis. Support levels are identified from recent lows and moving averages. Key supports include the BB lower at $110.2692, SMA 20 at $121.128, and a psychological level around $120, tested on July 10. Additional support exists at the EMA 50, $119.0819. Resistance is defined by the SMA 5, $125.816, EMA 5, $124.6548, and the recent high of $129.31 on June 30. The BB upper at $131.9868 serves as a longer-term resistance. The current price of $120.72 is near the SMA 20, suggesting it may act as a pivot point for either a bounce or further decline. ATR-based high and low predictions. The ATR-14 on July 10 is $5.7991, indicating a significant daily range. Using the closing price of $120.72, the expected intraday high for July 11 could be around $126.5191, $120.72 plus $5.7991, and the expected low around $114.9209, $120.72 to $5.7991. These ranges align with the support at $110.2692 and resistance at $125.816, framing the likely trading range. Possible scenarios in a bullish scenario: oversold indicators, the stock K5, CCI, and proximity to the BB lower suggest a rebound toward $125 to $126, potentially testing the SMA 5, $125.816. This would be supported by continued buying interest and lower volume than July 10. In a bearish scenario, persistent selling pressure could push VRT toward the BB lower, $110.2692, or the psychological $110 level, especially if negative news emerges. A neutral scenario involves consolidation between $120 and $123, with the stock stabilizing near the SMA 20, $121.128. The high volume on July 10 and negative MACD histogram suggest caution, but oversold indicators favor a short-term bounce. Conclusion: VRT exhibits a strong bullish trend from April to June, rising from $71.57 to a peak of $129.31, followed by a sharp 6.02% drop to $120.72 on July 10, accompanied by high volume. Technical indicators like RSI, $53.34, stock K5, $54.73, and CCI, minus $15.30, indicate oversold conditions, suggesting a potential rebound. However, the MACD crossover and declining ADX point to weakening momentum, with the stock possibly entering a consolidation phase. The stock is likely to open around $122 on July 11, with an intraday high near $126.52 and a low near $114.92 based on ATR. Support at $120 to $121.128 and resistance at $125.816 to $129.31 define the trading range. Traders should watch volume and momentum indicators for signs of a bounce or further correction, with VRT remaining volatile, but with upside potential. Additional considerations: the volume spike to 24,685,984 shares on July 10, coinciding with a 6.02% drop, is notable and may reflect a significant event, such as profit-taking, or a market reaction to news. The Beta 14 at $1.27 indicates VRT is more volatile than the market, making it sensitive to broader market movements. The parabolic SAR, PSAR, at $131.38 on July 10, above the current price, suggests a potential bearish signal if the price fails to recover. For a YouTube audience, VRT's recent volatility and oversold indicators make it a stock to watch for short-term trading opportunities, with caution advised due to the recent high-volume drop.